Hello, it's time for Combat Patrol Carnage. We're at our final video for issue 4 and we are learning a little more about combat. So we're pretty much bringing together everything we learned in issues 1 and 2 and putting it through a nice little scenario where we see 3 Infernus Marines, which we've previously painted up, facing off against our 1 Von Rein's Leaper that we painted in episode 1. So yeah, we have a short mission, we have a little bit about data sheets as well as how the attack sequence works. So we'll have a read of that at the table. Don't forget then, Combat Patrol Carnage is proudly sponsored by warbay.shop, your one-stop supply for all your hobby needs. They both buy and sell new and used armies, including your piles of shame. They have all your hobby supplies, including paints and paintbrushes, and some gaming aids like dice and tokens for all your various game systems. They've also had a recent restock of classic partworks collections, so take a look on their store, link in the video description. Finally then, before we head to table, don't forget to of course give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and drop me a comment down below how you're getting on with your collection. Alright, let's head over and we'll have ourselves a little bit of a brawl. Here we are then, it's time for our final video of issue 4, which pits a lone Von Rein's Leaper up against 3 Infernus Marines who have run out of ammo, so they have to rely on their fists and combat blades. So we've got my dice bag and my game mat ready to set up, and of course we have our needed models for this issue's battle. First off though, we've got some reading to do, so I'll adjust the camera and we'll read up on some rules. So we'll turn to our play articles. So, desperate measures. A Space Marine uses the last of his ammunition to burn away the Tyranid infestation. Having expended their ammunition against the Tyranid hordes, a squad of Infernus Marines makes its way back to their base. However, on the way they are ambushed by a pack of Von Rein's Leapers. The only way forward is through desperate hand-to-hand combat, as they pit brute strength against the speed and ferocity of the Tyranids. So, gather your data sheets, that's the one thing I haven't got yet. So before the battle, grab the data sheets for the Infernus Marines and the Von Rein's Leapers. You will have received these in the issues the models came with. In this battle, you'll be using these models' melee weapons, as well as their toughness, save, and wounds characteristic. But we also have the data cards, so we'll grab those out of my box in just a sec. So, Mission 2, Desperate Measures. That can't be right. Mission 2? This has got to be like Mission 4. Mission Briefing. In this mission, you'll consolidate your knowledge of melee attacks and the fight phase in a fierce battle between a trio of Infernus Marines and a Von Rein's Leaper. You'll use data sheets provided for these models to work out how strong their weapons are and how effective they can resist damage. Good luck. Deployment. To deploy for this battle, place your battle mat on a flat surface, preferably somewhere you won't be disturbed, and with room for you to also place this issue next to the battlefield. Next, place your models in the center of the board, as seen in the example below. Make sure your dice are close at hand and that you're ready to go. So, 3 Infernus Marines and a single Von Rein's Leaper. How to win. The battle ends immediately when all models on one side are slain. The Von Rein's Leaper is slain when it takes 3 wounds, and the Infernus Marine is slain when it takes 2 wounds. Once you've played through the scenario once, try using different numbers of Von Rein's Leapers and Infernus Marines. Remember to increase the number of attacks you make for each Infernus Marine and Von Rein's Leaper you add. Next up then, we have a example turn. So Space Marines start this battle off. So they roll to hit, needing 3+ for their combat weapons. They are strength 4 against toughness 5. So only a 5+. We've got an error here. It shows a 4. So it should be a 5, 6 only, not a 3 or 4. So I don't know why this is. So yeah, I think it should have been fail there, success there. And then we've got the Tyrannid saving throw, which is a 4+, and luckily for the Tyrannid, the AP of the combat weapons is nothing, so they'll be able to get their full 4+ save. Then we've got a breakdown of the Tyrannid turn, so again, to hit, they have 6 attacks, to hit on a 3. They have strength 5 against toughness 4, so they'll wound on a 3 or better, as it's a higher strength to toughness. And for the save rolls of the Space Marines, the rend is 1 on the Leaping Talons, so their 3+ save goes down to a 4+ save. So in the example here, the Infernus Marines manage to inflict 1 wound on the Von Rhein's Leaper when they attack. When the Von Rhein's Leaper attacks, it inflicts 2 unsaved wounds on the Infernus Marines, slaying 1 of them. So yeah, pretty cool. Before we hit the game, we do have a couple of pages. This is all about data sheets and the attack sequence. So the galaxy of the 41st millennium is home to a vast array of armies with a large variety of troops in their ranks. Knowing how they will fight and how to best utilize their skills is key to victory on the battlefield. In Warhammer 40,000, the information you need to use each unit is contained on its data sheet. So information and preparation are key to victory in the dark future. So receiving data sheets for your models can be found in the Battlefield Essential cards provided these magazines. Keep them safe. You will receive data sheets for every model in your collection. You'll also find a data sheet at the back of each model's collect article. You can download data sheets for all your models free online. Simply use the QR code to access data sheets for every model in this collection. Plus special rules for your combat patrols and more. So it might be able to get a good idea of what's coming next if we use that link. I'll try it out after I finish filming. So data sheets then. You'll notice a lot of information on your data sheets. Some of this might be familiar. You've already used ballistic skill, weapon skill, strength, damage, characteristics of your weapons, as well as toughness, wounds, and save of the models in your units. Some information might seem unfamiliar. Don't panic, future issues will continue to explain the data sheets. Eventually, you'll know how everything on the data sheet works and where to find the information you need. So we got a unit name, in this example, Infernus Squad. We got range of their weapons, so 12-inch for the Pyre Blaster and Bolt Pistol. And attacks, so we have 3 attacks, 1 attack, and D6 attacks for the Pyre Blaster there. Ballistic skill value, so 3+ and not essential for the Pyre Blaster. Weapon skill value, 3+ for combat, as they are elite trained warriors. Strength of the weapons, so 4 for the pistol and their fists, and 5 for the Pyre Blaster. Any armor penetration, so nothing on this squad sadly. The damage they deal, which is all 1s. Then we have different statistics at the top here. So their movement value, so 6 inches. Toughness is 4. Saves is a 3+. Wounds are 2 per model. They have a leadership value of 6+, and objective control value of 1. So these will be important later on as we go through the collection. Additional characteristics. For the next few missions, you'll mainly use the weapon characteristics for your units. Don't worry too much about objective control and leadership and any abilities for now. You'll learn how these work in later missions. And yeah, so we have an ability called Over Moment. So, like I said, we'll learn about those in future issues. Up next then, we learn about the attack sequence. The attack sequence is used when your units attack, either with melee or shooting weapons. Whenever you make an attack with your units, follow the sequence below step by step to resolve it. You will need the data sheets for your units on hand to resolve the attack sequence for them. Select targets, stage 1. For each model in your unit, choose a weapon to attack with, then select an enemy unit to attack. Measure the distance between the models in your unit and the target unit, and compare it to the range of the weapons you are attacking with. The range of melee weapons will be covered later. Each model in your unit whose weapon is within range can attack. The Infernus Marines on the opposite side of the infestation site cannot see the Von Rhein's Leapers, so cannot shoot at them. So line of sight is essential. Some cards you receive will represent terrain pieces. Units are considered to not be able to see through these for the purposes of selecting targets for ranged attacks. An example here, 2 Infernus Marines are blocked by the spores being produced by the toxin site, but 2 here can see the Von Rhein's Leapers and can shoot. Hit rolls, stage 2. Check the attacks characteristics of the weapon you are attacking with. Roll that many dice for each model that is attacking. For example, if a weapon has an attacks characteristic of 2, roll 2 dice for each model attacking with that weapon. Dice rolls equal to or greater than the ballistic skill or weapon skill characteristic of the weapon have hit the target. Torrent. If a ranged weapon has the torrent rule listed on the datasheet, you do not need to make hit rolls. Instead, each attack made with such a weapon automatically hits the target, making these weapons very deadly. Random attacks. Some weapons have a random attacks characteristic, such as D6 or D6 plus 3. Before making hit rolls, roll a dice for each model attacking with such a weapon to determine how many attacks that model will make. The Infernus Marine's Pyre Blaster both have torrent and also make random attacks, as shown in the datasheet above. Wound rolls, stage 3. For each attack that has successfully hit the enemy, roll a dice again to see if they have struck hard enough to cause damage to them. Compare the strength of the weapon you are using to the toughness of the enemy. Using the table to the right, for each wound roll you make, if the result is equal to or higher than the result needed according to this table, you have successfully wounded the enemy unit. So we learned about this last issue. We have, of course, if you're double toughness, you wound on a 2. If you're greater than, you wound on a 3. If you're equal, you wound on a 4. If you are less than, you wound on a 5. And if you are half, you wound on a 6. Saving throws, stage 4. Enemy units have a chance to deflect incoming attacks with their armor. For each attack that has hit and successfully wounded the enemy unit, your opponent rolls a dice. This is called a save roll. For each save roll that is equal to or greater than the unit's save characteristic, the unit has saved the attack. The armor penetration, or AP characteristic of the attacker's weapon, is deducted from the result of save rolls, as shown in the table to the right. This will be explored in detail in a future issue, so depending on the target's save and the AP of the weapon, we see what their saves are. So if you're AP 0, you save as normal. AP minus 1, you go down a value. AP minus 2, you go down 2 values. And AP minus 3, you go down 3 values. And you get to a point where you cannot save at all. Damage, stage 5. For each attack that was not saved, your opponent chooses one model in the unit to be damaged. The damage is equal to the damage characteristic, or D, of the weapon. A model loses 1 wound for each point of damage it suffers. Once a model has lost a wound, all subsequent attacks made against that unit must be allocated to that model until it is slain. Destroyed models. When a model has taken damage equal to or more than its wounds characteristic, it is destroyed and removed from battle. You can use the wound markers to track how many wounds a model has lost. This Infernus Marine has lost 2 wounds and has been destroyed. So there we go, that's our reading done. Let's set up and have ourselves a bit of a battle to learn the fundamentals of combat. So here we are all set up, ready for a battle. So we've got enough dice for every Space Marine to make his combat attacks, which according to the data card is 3 per model. So 9 dice there. And then we've got the 6 for our Von Ryan's Leaper. So we'll put the data cards over to one side. Got some wound markers as well, which we'll put down in front of me here. And we'll move the dice out of the way. And we'll begin our mission. So according to the book, it asks us to do the Space Marines first. So they each get 3 attacks, so 9 dice. We need 3s to hit, so I've got my dice tray ready. Oh dear. Didn't do all that well. They missed 5 attacks. 4 have gone through. So they are strength 4 against toughness 5, meaning they are lower than, but not half, so we need 5s to wound. Single wound, no, 2 wounds. Pretty good. So that means the Leaper has a 4+ save, and he makes both of those. So over to the Von Ryan's Leaper to make his attacks. 6 of those going at the Space Marines. Hitting also on 3s, 4 successes, and he's a higher strength. He's strength 5 with his claws, and it's toughness 4, so he wounds on 3s. Wounding 3 times. So we got 3 dice to make saves, so I'll roll 2 to see if we can save. So it's -1 on our save, so down to 4. That's 1 dead marine. And the last wound is saved on a 6. So we've already lost a marine. So it's now 6 attacks on the marine side. So back to them. That's a little better, only 2 misses this time. Can we get some wounds? 5s, please. Only the 1. So a single save for our Tyrannid. He does. Oh dear. It's not looking good for the Space Marines. Back to the Tyrannid then. Okay, he's fluffed half of his attacks. Wounding on freeze. 2 wounds. That will be enough to kill a Marine. So saving on 4s. Ooh, lucky. We make both. Cool. Back to the Space Marines then. 3 attacks each model, so 6 in total. Hitting on freeze. Wounding on 5s. For 1 again. Can our Leaper save? He can. 6 attacks for the Leaper. Only missing 2. Wounding on freeze. Another 2. Again, enough to kill a Marine outright, unless he saves. Ooh, that's out the tray, so we don't count that. He saves 1, so 1 Infernus Marine has taken a single wound. Back to the Infernus Marines. Can they do some damage to the Tyrannid? Not like that, they can't. 5 misses. Ouch. 1 hit. Can it wound? It can. Can the Leaper save? No, he can't. So that is a wound. So back to our Leaper. 6 attacks. 2 misses. Freeze to wound. That's 2. So we'll do this one at a time. Save the first one. And we save the second one. We're still alive. So 6 Marine attacks. Can we do better this time? Only just. 3 successful hits. Can we get some wounds? We get 1. That's not too bad. That's something. Can the save? Leaper save? He can save. So 6 attacks back from the Leaper. Half hit. Freeze to wound. All of them. Oh dear. This could finish the unit. So again, 1 at a time for dramatic effect. First save in the tray. Saved. Second save. Failed. So that's our second Infernus Marine down, meaning our last Infernus Marine can't die, but he's going to have a hard time. He does take a wound. He's going to have a hard time fighting back against the Leaper. 3 attacks. Scoring 2 hits. Can I get some wounds, please, before I die? No, I can't. 6 attacks on the Leaper on our solitary Infernus Marine. Yeah, this is the end. That's all of them saved. All of them hit. Half wound. So, can we save these? Dramatic effect rolling. No. So that is our final Infernus Marine down. We don't have a victory table to read from, so we'll just go back to the magazine and we'll take a look at what's in our future issues. But there we have it. That's our replay of learning the rules of close combat. The magazine does say you can up the amount of opponents. I'll do that perhaps in my own time. But for now, on camera, that's a Tyrannid victory. So that's it for issue 4 then. Let's take a look at what's coming in our next 2 combat patrols. So we have our Infernus Sergeant, which is the magazine collection exclusive miniature. Apparently there's labels saying exclusive here first, meaning I'm wondering if we will see this guy released separately somewhere along the line. That would be quite interesting if we do, because then give me a chance to pick one up. But we learn about the Imperium a bit more. We learn again more about dice and modifiers. So we cover stuff like AP and abilities that will change dice as well. And of course we get to build and paint our new awesome Infernus Sergeant, which is why I've built my guy up throwing the grenade, so I can have some nice models to go along with the Sergeant to lead them. So yeah, looking forward to building and painting him. I've also got, if I can find it, yeah, there they are, some spare ultramarine bits I'm going to stick on him. I haven't got the Sergeant specific shoulder pad, which should have a little skull on the U, as we can see here. But I have got a generic ultramarine one. I got a little pouch I can stick on and a honor scroll tube as well. So yeah, that'll make him stand out a little bit as an ultramarine. Yeah, I'd very much like to get a couple more of this guy. One for my Crimson Fists and one for my Blood Angels. Moving on though, issue 6, we get 5 barb gaunts, living artillery that are possessed by a living weapon. Pretty awesome and gruesome at the same time. So yeah, we learn about the living weapon platforms known as barb gaunts. We learn a bit more about the different hive fleets. And we have a new scenario which combines moving and shooting. We have the Infernus Marines versus the barb gaunts. And it's basically trying to avoid obliteration. So yeah. Before I do go, a quick note on the QR code. I did try it in between filming the first part of this video and this part, which was after dinner. It takes you to the downloads page for Warhammer, but there's nothing there at the moment. It's probably due to the fact that they are still sorting out the new website. They haven't quite got all the articles that they did have back up and running. I have known that the new Warhammer community site isn't bug-free as of yet. They had a massive crash yesterday after the reveal show, people flocking to try and see the new reveals. Yeah, it just didn't handle the traffic very well. So yeah, I don't think they've sorted it out quite properly yet. But there we have it. So boom, 3 paints, a paintbrush which I have somehow lost the tube for. It's somewhere on my desk, I'm not too sure where, because I did start painting some of the other Infernus Marines before lunch. But yeah, we have 3 Infernus Marines done, plus a Von Ryan's Leaper. And yeah, I'm off to finish painting the rest, which will be, I'll put a photo of them at the end of the first video. So you would have already seen that. But yeah, looking forward to the next issue. We do some more painting, which is kind of cool. And of course we have that new Infernus Sergeant to build. So I'm really looking forward to next Sunday when I get around to filming that issue. So I'm now off to edit and finish painting these guys. So thank you all very much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this in the comment section down below. How have you got on painting your models? Are you following the magazine like me? Or have you been a really awesome hobbyist and done it your own way? I've seen some lovely photos on the community page run by Warhammer. There's some really awesome ones. I love the Blood Angel one that somebody did the other day. They look fantastic. I can't wait to paint my Infernus Marines from my Get Started set, the Ultimate Starter set. So yeah, looking forward to painting them as Blood Angels to go with my Blood Angel Combat Patrol that will be coming out of that box. But yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing off these guys once we get some more colours. So like I said, we don't get any new colours until issue 9, which is only a black and a gold. So we get to do at least a few little bit details. We'll be painting the trim on the shoulder pads, the chest eagle, and all the gaps in between the armour, and possibly the end of the barrel of the gun. But I've rambled on long enough. I've been filming now for close to 2 hours. This is the longest I've filmed for this magazine series. So I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. And I think I will say thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Combat Patrol Carnage. Goodbye.